Right. So we're just coming out of All-Star Weekend, of which I didn't really get a chance to watch much of, to be quite honest. But I was made aware, and I have been following up on the comments or the statement that Laura Ingraham made about LeBron James and KD and how they need to just quote shut up and dribble. Now, that comment or in the preceding comments or statements that she made a lot of people feel some type of way, self included. And so I was watching ESPN First Take this morning, and they posed a question or a poll: how do we feel about, or do we think athletes should use their platform to speak out on political issues? And my response was, I do think athletes should use their platforms to speak out on political issues, but at the same time, I understand that they're not obligated to do so. However, I do commend those who do so in a very, and if they do so in an intellectual and resourceful way. So they're not getting up there, just talking out the side of their mouth, but their responses are concrete and based on what's actually going on in the communities, or what's actually being seen by the people who are affected by the decisions of our government and our leadership. So I mean, you look at individuals like Michael Jordan. Remember, I think it was back in like, what was that, the early 90s, when Jordan was at the height of his career, and then the whole Rodney King thing was going on in LA, and people were bashing him, not because Michael Jordan got bashed because he didn't speak out on the Rodney King, or if he was not as vocal as people would have wanted him to be about the situation. And he was one of the ones that didn't necessarily use their platform, but later on in most recent years has now started to become more vocal about social issues that affect people of color and other disadvantaged communities. You have individuals like Muhammad Ali, who was very active in the civil rights movement, um, both on and off out of the ring. You had individuals, you had Tommy Smith and John Carlos, who raised their fist during the 1968 Olympics in solidarity for for the discrimination that was going on back here in our homeland. And then you have um, Colin Kaepernick. Now, he's a very touchy subject to me, because I think that even though I may not have agreed with everything that he did, how he went about protesting, how he went about um, showing his frustration or demonstrating his frustration with what's going on with our government, and so forth and so on. Nonetheless, he still used his platform to address social injustices and discrimination. So, to Laura Ingraham, who made the comment, must they run their mouths like that? I think you should go back and watch LeBron James's documentary on how he grew up, and um, watch KD's documentary on the type of childhood that they had and what it was like for them growing up. Or even better, I invite you to come down to Miami, Florida, to Liberty City area where I grew up, where I've seen people in front of my eyes get shot and die, or people get robbed, or I see what lack of quality education looks like. I see where parents who, or families who are um, oppressed by the system, who feel like they can't get out. I invite you to come down to Miami, to Liberty City, to Overtown, Carol City, any disadvantaged community, where you can see the true realities of what we as Black Americans have to face. I don't know what your childhood was like growing up, but for us, every day is a fight, and we work hard for everything that we earn. So for Laura to get up and say what she said on national television about how um, LeBron's and KD's responses were barely intelligible. Um, it doesn't take a college degree from Dartmouth or a law degree from the University of Virginia to see the disparities and discriminations that are still oppressing our Black communities and minority communities today. It doesn't take an Ivy League degree to see that our leader does not or is not connecting with the people, that he has a very selfish agenda, and that he's not necessarily for the people. You know, this is supposed to be a democratic nation. However, what he does for one party severely affects another one, and that those issues are not being addressed. So, Miss Laura Ingraham, I have a couple questions for you. Did you tell Dwayne The Rock Johnson to shut up and go act when, or be an actor when he said that he may consider running for president? Because if Trump can run for president, then sure, you know, anybody can run for president, right? Did you tell Oprah to shut up and go fix people's life when it came out that she may consider running for president in 2020? Or did you tell T.D. Jakes to shut up and go preach when at one of his conferences he discussed agenda items or political agenda items that had all types of conflicts of interest? Did you tell any of those people to shut up and go do whatever the profession is that they do, simply because they did not agree with the coach that's currently in the chair? For you to answer. I'll wait.